everyone! Helping our face-to-face students and our virtual students feel like they're a part of the same class can be challenging. This week we were able to add the Meeting Owl Pro to our classroom. Let's explore an option that will allow us to feel a little bit closer and build community across the distance. We've taken the time to say good morning, and now it's time to begin our lesson. The projector is connected to my computer and I'm in an extended display. I'm dragging a website we'll be using during class today, Wonderopolis, over to my screen for my students in the classroom to see. For my students at home, I want to make sure that I share and I look for that browser that has Wonderopolis. Once I share, my students at home and my students face-to-face can see the same thing. Let me take a moment to move my students over to my laptop screen so that I can see them while we participate in our lesson. Part of our lesson is to share a short 4-minute video as a hook to our discussion about our conscience. By selecting Share Computer Sound in my Zoom application, my students are hearing crisp and clear. Because the Pro is still connected to my laptop, it acts as the speaker, and the students that are face-to-face and myself can also hear very clearly. Now that our lesson hook has been completed, I'll go ahead and stop sharing my browser with the students at home, and I want to take a minute to take my students that are virtual and drag them over to the screen so my face-to-face students can see them. With my owl connected, our virtual students will also be able to see us in the classroom.
We're going to talk a little bit about a conscience.
At this point, students that are virtual and in the classroom would follow classroom procedures to respond, like raising their hand. Here, I call on a student in the classroom who has raised her hand.
That's an example that applies to me the most.
Our owl also has a built-in microphone, and this allows our students at home to hear other students speaking in the classroom. We continue the discussion. Students that are virtual and in the classroom are all participating at this point.
Is there anyone else who wants to share an experience? Piper, will you share with us a little bit?
So my brother always tells me I can't touch his bike, and I decided I wanted to ride his bike anyways. So I rode his bike to school, but I didn't know how to lock it up properly, and I came out and the tire was missing. I got in a lot of trouble. So I didn't listen to my good conscience. I went for it.
Oh wow, that's quite an experience I think we could all learn from, right?
Students can begin their independent assignments in their journals, or there could be an assignment posted inside of Schoology that students could respond to. Adding the Meeting Owl Pro to your classroom gives you an amazing camera, microphone, and speaker. Instead of using the built-in microphone on your Mac, use the Owl to allow virtual students to hear the teacher and their classmates from different areas in the room. Instead of using the built-in speaker on your Mac, use the Owl speaker to allow all face-to-face students to hear the virtual students clearly. And instead of using the built-in FaceTime camera on your Mac, use the Owl camera to allow virtual students to see more than the teacher. They can see their classmates and feel like they are a part of the classroom community. To get started, plug your Owl in and use it instead of the built-in microphone, camera, and speaker during your next virtual and face-to-face class session with students.